Story also from The Independent. Trump freezes $1 billion in food aid given to local schools and food banks to help low-income families. Trump administration reportedly said it had determined this funding no longer effectuates agency priorities and that termination of the award is appropriate.
What I saw, because I covered all this USAID stuff on the No Rogan Experience bunch, kind of covered it quite a bit. And the comments that I saw online, because when we post in different places, we will get comments from Rogan stans, right? From people who are like, I like Joe Rogan and you guys suck. That show has weathered already in its infancy, has weathered a ton of negative reviews because of this, because people, they love Joe Rogan so much, they don't want to, they get upset that someone is fact checking them. But he covered a lot of this USAID stuff. So USAID stuff we did. So we covered a lot of that stuff too. And often we would argue and be like, that's soft power. It's stuff, you're sending out that money and, you might be sending out for, Iraqi Christmas Street or Sesame Street, but you're sending it out there. So you're not creating a bunch of people who hate America.
Right.
You're doing this stuff to try to make sure that there's not as much animosity to America. You're funding real needs of real people around the world where, there's these grants that go out that work for like HIV and like help people get food all across the world in different places where they're food insecure and give medical care where they need it, et cetera, et cetera. And all that money goes out to do a lot of that good work. Now there's other stuff that it goes out to too. And, all that stuff can be reviewed via line item, however you want to deep in the weeds you want to get. But a lot of the stuff that they were calling out was false. It was all just false. And when we pointed it out, the common message that we received from them, most of the people who disliked us and wanted to sort of tell us how stupid we were was, well, I don't give a shit about those other countries. I want it here at home. I don't give a shit that we're giving money to food insecure people in the Amazon rainforest so they don't chop down more of the rainforest. What I want to do is I want to fuck those people. I want that money here. Well, we got to take care of people here at home. We got to take care of the people around here. What's this?
Yeah.
What's this?
Yeah.
You're cutting $1 billion of funding to hungry people in the United States.
Yep.
So guess what? First off, it wasn't from the same pocket you were pulling that money out of. And now both pockets are empty.
Well, the thing is that, like, especially hilariously given the title, we have no appetite in America for helping Americans. So it's not like this money, and your point is exactly right. It's not like the money we weren't able to spend this money helping feed Americans because we were spending money helping to feed Iraqis, for example, right? That was never the calculus. We always could have done both.
Yeah.
Right? It's just that we never wanted to properly do either. So we half-assed both pieces of it. If we wanted to just feed everybody in America, we would just make that a priority and fund it and feed everybody in America. This proves that, like, the cruelty is the point.
Yeah.
The indifference is the point. The depravity is the point. The desire to create a class of people whose job it is to suffer is the point.
Yeah.
That last
piece especially. That last piece especially. Create a group of people that are intended to suffer and you are to gleefully watch them suffer. That is exactly the point.
Yeah. This is the new American caste system that we are allowing ourselves to create in real time right now. We are creating a caste system of financial untouchables. And we are doing that on purpose in order to otherize them, in order to politicize and create a division that can mobilize money. That's what this is all about. That's what this has always been about. Like, it's just that, like, up until recently, we had good, smart, strong people getting in the way of that evil bullshit. This is like, it's not like we're like, oh God, we can't feed that homeless veteran over there because we spent all our money fighting polio. That was never true.
Yeah.
Because, like, now we're done doing that and we're still pulling money out of that guy's pocket.
And they said the same thing when it came to FEMA funds, because they were using FEMA, part of FEMA funds, a different bucket of FEMA funds, to help people who they bust up to New York, the 170,000 people they busted to New York.
The human beings that were hungry.
The human beings that were bust up there in flip-flops during the winter. Those people that they housed and fed, because that's what you do with people. those people, everybody was screaming that they were using FEMA funds and they weren't giving it to the people in North Carolina, and they weren't giving it to the people in Hawaii, and they weren't giving it to the people in California because they were using it on homeless,
So untrue.
undocumented people. And that's just not true. It's just a lie, but it's a lie in order for them to push their agenda. So they'll keep telling the same lie over and over and over again because it reinforces the thing they want to believe.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's true or not, it doesn't matter to
No.
them as long as I can reinforce and point out that your side is bad, even though there's plenty of money in both buckets to go around. Those people didn't get shortchanged down in those places where those disasters actually hit.
Yep.
And we were able to take care of those people without spending a ton of money on them to try to make sure that, the places where they already had facilities that we bust them away from,
Mm-hmm.
we had to take care of them in a new place.
Huh.
And then then you essentially just get beat over the head with their weapon because they're the ones who created the undocumented people as a weapon. Then they ship them up and then they blame you for spending the money to
Yeah.
help them. So it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, and that was the intent, right?
That was the intent the whole time.
The intent was to create a crisis.
Yeah, the intent the whole time.
Yeah.